You're okay.
Have you ever been hung by your helmet?
Jamaica. A fascinating country filled with underground rivers, caves, and other secrets. From big chambers to underground lakes, Jamaica's caves are unique. Follow us on our journey into Jamaica's underground. Jamaica has to be the only country where locals get stoned and sing Bob Marley in caves.
One love! One love! Let's get together and feel alright.
Teenage boys with joints hanging off their lips
My name is Harry Goocher. My friends call me Harry.
clamber barefoot into the island's extensive cave systems. Jamaicans are some of the warmest, friendliest, and most fun-loving people anywhere. We felt really lucky to be able to cave with them.
Don't drink the water. Keep your mouth.
We didn't come here for the marijuana, though. We came here for the caves. Jamaica is riddled with thousands of known caves. There's been extensive exploration, most of it decades ago by hardcore British teams, and it's safe to say that most caves on the island are already found and mapped. Remaining undiscovered caves are remote and difficult to access, and are mostly in the heart of the rugged cockpit country. We came here because we heard some of the prettiest caves in the world are in Jamaica. Could this be true? We're Lukas, Suhei, Ashlee, and Dave. We like caves. We've been through some crazy adventures together, like caving in bee suits in the Dominican Republic and fighting a jaguar in the jungles of Suriname. This time, we wanted a more mellow adventure with smaller dangers than killer bees and jaguars.
I'm gonna jump out.
And possibly bad air, we won't talk about that.
Yeah,
and then there might be bats and some really beautiful stalactites, maybe some bad air.
Bad air, frequent floods, getting stuck. What could go wrong? Kwashi's River Cave was one of the first caves we did in Jamaica. This river cave is in a huge sinkhole in the jungle, and getting to it requires traversing sketchy ladders with no protection.
This is the famous Kwashi's River Cave. It's a cave that is well known to cavers in Jamaica. It's not that long, but it's fairly deep. There's an active river inside that sometimes floods with a bunch of rappels, and there's no photos of it. We don't even know what it looks like. So we got here to this massive sinkhole with like 15 excited teenagers, and we saw this huge entrance behind me. This is where all the water goes.
Kwashi's is infamous for a massive inflow river that terminates in a scary sump. Cold, flowing water can sometimes flood without warning, and cavers need to be especially careful. There's plenty of rope work required to proceed, with mandatory swims and floating disconnects. It's not exactly a beginner cave. For these reasons, few locals have ever gone very far into the cave. Cavers need to be prepared to be continuously wet in chilly water. All your gear must be fully waterproof, including electronics. But Kwashi's is not just a river. Away from the water are stunning decorations. While we were inside, the bored village kids lit a fire near the entrance. The cave filled with smoke, and we were exited with concerns about poor air. The kids were gone when we got out and climbed out of the sinkhole entrance. There's an active caving group in Jamaica called the Jamaica Caves Organization. The half-dozen members are virtually the only ones that go caving on the island. Jan, Steph, and Silvia from JCO were instrumental in helping us get underground, and we even did a few trips together. We are indebted to their kindness and effort. Gorey Cave is Jamaica's longest cave. It's named after the countless gores, or pools, inside. The entrance has stairs, as some locals occasionally come inside to get water. Virtually no one goes past the entrance area, as it immediately becomes challenging. Narrow nuisance drops in cold water are the norm. It's a near continuous sequence of rappelling into pools, swimming across, and then climbing out. Repeat, and then repeat again. It's also crazy flood prone. The whole time, it's only natural to imagine how this cave can flood so easily and what it's like when the entire inside is submerged with no air. Such floods would be immediately fatal. Like so many caves, the caver's mind is split between a realization of the danger and a curiosity of what lies ahead. Gory Cave eventually reaches several long swims with an ever lower ceiling. These passages can easily become submerged in a flood, but they were safe when we visited.
Are you going?
No.
No?
Does it keep going?
Yeah, it keeps going.
For how long?
Like what?
Like far?
The best practice for dealing with flooding in caves is to carefully watch weather forecast and set a firm turnaround time, generally midday, before the likely afternoon storms hit. Gory is one of the few caves in Jamaica known to have silkworms. These worms are deep inside, about an hour from the entrance in this case. We looked and definitely did not touch. Cockpit country is by far the wildest region in Jamaica, surely with undiscovered caves awaiting. It's also filled with dense brush and horrible mites that go under your skin and cause relentless itching.
We spent a while bushwhacking, trekking through the Jamaican cockpit country here, got covered in mites and ticks, brushed them off, macheted into the sink, and now we are about to enter Mouth Maze Cave. There's an amazing debris blockage of bamboo here from where the river ends and goes in the cave, but it looks like we can squeeze past it.
The caves here can be dry or wet, depending on the season. We went in a number of caves such as Hardy's, Printed Circuit, and Mouth Maze.
Oh, Arnie's coming. Oh, he's over there.
While there's plenty of amazing crayfish, decorations, green foliage, and majestic pools, it all comes at a price. Mostly, the mud is just omnipresent and inevitable. After a few days in the muddy caves of Cockpit, we headed south to the beaches and drier caves in Clarendon.
Okay, I'm going down this 60-meter pit, and there's some vines at the bottom, a lot of vines, which is unusual for what we usually do, and I think it's going to be good, but there's bad air. There's bad air everywhere. We've been told, skull and crossbones, and so I have my lighter right here, and as I go down, I'm going to try not to light the rope on fire. And then see if I can breathe, and then I'll probably pass out, and then they'll have to do like a 6-to-1 or 18-to-1 to get me out of here.
In the south of the region of Clarendon, there are a number of pit caves with entrance rappels to short but pretty galleries. The danger here is bad air, which we experienced at least once. Knowing the danger beforehand, we freely chose to go in and monitor ourselves. After 30 minutes inside, feeling woozy, we climbed back out. Bad air in general is pretty rare in caves, but there's several caves in Jamaica where it's a very serious concern. But all of these caves that we had visited so far in Jamaica were relatively underwhelming in relation to the Caribbean's most spectacular cave.
We are doing a traverse through the legendary Jackson Bay Cave, one of the most beautiful in Jamaica. This is entrance 9, and the plan is to traverse about 1 kilometer across the cave, through some tight crawls, water, and possibly bad air, and come out entrance 7.
Jackson's Bay Great Cave. Whatever a great cave is, this is it. It quickly starts off pretty, but as usual, there's a price to its beauty in the form of tight squeezes.
Jesus Christ!
Whoa!
Right now we are going through what is termed officially the kinky crawl. It remains to be seen when things get really kinky.
It's like being Eve.
You're okay. Have you ever been hung by your helmet? Shit.
Jackson's Bay was discovered and thoroughly explored decades ago by a team of hardcore British cavers. To this day, their map is impressively accurate. While this cave is rarely visited, it lies on private property and getting permission is difficult. This is the most decorated room that we've come to in the past 3 minutes. The inside is surreal. It's impossible to know what the original explorers thought when they first entered it, but there was surely a lot of celebration and wonder. For several miles, the cave is hallway after hallway of turquoise water, ebony formations, and then vast chambers. It climaxes in the one-of-a-kind shamrock hallway, a true once-in-a-lifetime moment for any caver. It's a trip that I wish never ended.